Hey guys, another off the top rope here on the Off the Mic Sports Network. So I don't know how many times you guys have watched the incredible, and I mean incredible, CM Punk promo to open Monday Night Raw, where he called The Rock a bald fraud, John Cena a bald fraud. He invoked the name of Becky Lynch. It was unbelievable. And for a minute there, I felt like it was 2011 and I was 21 years old or 20 years old, and I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just watching this guy and I'm saying, God damn, this is cool. Because growing up, CM Punk was one of my favorite wrestlers because of how real he felt and how he was unapologetically himself. And he didn't care about getting into trouble. He didn't care what lines he would cross, and it really was amazing to watch because you didn't see that really blurred line between work and shoot in wrestling. And I think that's why so many people migrated to CM Punk, and CM Punk became this cult and this figure in professional wrestling, so much so that him being unapologetically himself led to him leaving 10 years ago unceremoniously, the whole court case, the whole deal with WWE. Then he goes to AEW, has a short little like nice time, a little honeymoon period there, and then all of a sudden it goes sour, and he has two high profile fights. He's fired from the company, and now he's back in WWE doing everything he possibly can to have a career resurgence and remind everybody why he is literally the best in the world. That's what this video is about. CM Punk, even in his late 40s, is still the best in the world because when he is motivated and when he is willing to do shit and go and perfect example, going out there on Monday Night Raw, going scorched earth and just absolutely lighting fires on everybody he could come into and basically setting the groundwork for the rest of his year because he's going to deal with The Rock. He's going to deal with John Cena. He's going to deal with Seth Rollins. He didn't even talk about Roman Reigns, and we still haven't even explored that. He's got so many enemies, not to mention this guy is going to have his third match on Raw. He had no matches on Raw in like 10 years. He's been in a match with Rollins on the January 6th debut of Netflix. He was in the qualifier for the Elimination Chamber with Sami Zayn and the steel cage match against Seth Rollins next week. That's 3 matches on Raw. He's been in a Hell in a Cell match. He's been in a strap match. He has been in a he's been in a War Games match, for God's sake. You can't tell me that this guy doesn't care and this guy's just there for the money. And when he is motivated and he is able to go out there and pick up a microphone, he throws down the mic flag, doesn't even care, just yells into the camera like a freaking maniac and just spit and fire. It's unlike anything you will ever see in professional wrestling. And I understand he is a divisive figure because of his personality. But again, I will say it again, and I will say it again and again and again. AEW did not know how to manage this guy, and that's why it got away from them. And it is now working completely against them because he is literally everything that you wanted to see and you thought you saw early on in AEW is transpiring right before your eyes in WWE. And I made the mistake of thinking that, hey, he was going to be a champion. He may be champion at some point this year. It's not going to be at WrestleMania unless something crazy happens. But what I'm so geeked up about and so happy about, and I just feel like a kid again, because I grew up just loving and admiring this guy because he was straight edge. He was just cool. Even if I'm not a tattoo guy, like he was just a guy who rolled to the beat of his own drum. And it's a guy that it makes you want to root for him because he's from Chicago. He doesn't really give a shit about like, all these corporate things, which is why I'm honestly glad my prediction was wrong that he wasn't the corporate champion because that is everything that he is against. And he has consistently been against that from the minute he got to WWE. And, it's a callback to the John Cena stuff from, 15 years ago. And listen, I just can't wait to see how the rest of this is going to play out because obviously Cody Rhodes is going to be a big time focal point of this year too, with the main event being him and John Cena. But you better believe that CM Punk is going to come into more focus. And if he can stay healthy and continue the work that he is putting in, mark my words, this guy is going to literally be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. Like he is legitimately like one of the quintessential best professional wrestlers that you will ever see. Yes, he's not the biggest guy and he's kind of like average in build and it's not like your quintessential like, bulky pro wrestler, but he's the type of guy comes in and just says crazy shit on the mic and is able to just engage an audience unlike any professional wrestler that I've ever been able to see. Like this guy had people chanting his name for 10 years when they knew he wasn't going to show up. And then he finally showed up a year and a half ago, and it was one of the most amazing returns of all time. So another piece of this whole John Cena heel turn that I haven't really talked about, and it's trickled down to all these videos, is we got maybe the best character in professional wrestling back. And that is pissed off, give zero fucks CM Punk. Because I said that on a review video. I've said that on multiple videos on this channel since, Saturday at the Elimination Chamber, and then obviously Monday on Raw. There is nobody better in professional wrestling, any company. You could throw any name at me. There is nobody better than CM Punk when he is pissed off and motivated. And he is pissed off as a character. He's motivated as hell, and he wants to prove people wrong. And you've already seen it with the work that he's been able to put in with Drew McIntyre last year, and now leading into this year, where he's already had 3 matches. 3 matches on Raw. He's had an Elimination Chamber match and a Royal Rumble match. That's CM Punk's year. So don't even give me this crap that he is just getting paid out the money. He is working. He is working his ass off to entertain us and provide us a story and just a WWE that was just unheard of when he was there the first time. Because John Cena is a heel. Rock is a heel. Like mega heels. And CM Punk is being positioned now as a conquering renegade babyface. And that is fucking awesome because, as a young guy, like I said, I was about 21 years old, about 15 years ago when, he was running around in the Summer of Punk. We might get a Summer of Punk, the sequel here. And maybe that's the SummerSlam match. And maybe that's where CM Punk, conquers John Cena or something like that. Or maybe this is all leading to Cody Rhodes getting the championship back. But we'll see how this whole storyline gets laid out. But the 2 big pieces of news, and what I've addressed here in this video, the big pieces that were really put at play is obviously an industry-shaking moment with John Cena turning heel, which is just unheard of. You never would have thought that would happen. And so he's heel in his final year, which is a massive, massive deal. But this is not really even so much about John Cena. It is about A, cementing Cody Rhodes as the face of the company, and B, bringing back, like I said, the best character and literally the best wrestler on the microphone. Like he said in that famed promo, on the microphone, in the ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can touch him. He was not lying. He said it in AEW. Tell him when he is telling you lies. Okay? He is not telling any lies. And yes, you may not like him because he personally offended you or something like that, but this is the guy that I grew up watching. And if he was the guy you grew up watching too, and you're thrilled like I am, because I know universally that promo was praised for how adjacent it was to that night I think it was in June or July of 2011 on the road to Money in the Bank in Chicago. And, hell, I would not be surprised if they ran a pay-per-view this year in Chicago to, set up an environment for conquering hero CM Punk, because you're getting that again. There's no more, glad handing. It's great to be in this town. Is it great to be here or what? There's no more of that shit anymore. This is pissed off CM Punk. This is the best version of CM Punk. And as I've said, it's the best wrestler in the world. That is not a tagline. That is not a catchphrase. This is who he is. We've been waiting for it for about a year and a half. Thank you to John Cena and his heel turn for doing this, making Cody Rhodes an even bigger babyface, and also bringing back my personal favorite character of all time in professional wrestling. If he's yours, get at me in the comments. If you want to tell me I'm crazy, go ahead and do that. And also, just a separate note, because it's a regular thing and people think I hate AEW. I don't, but, I need to point out the obvious that AEW had this guy in your grasp, and he was pissed off and annoyed. And you saw glimpses of that. You couldn't rein it in. and it led to 2 fights in your company. It led to a bunch of lawsuits, and you had to fire him. That's your fault. That's on you. This could have been in your company, and it could have made you millions of dollars. But instead, he's in the other place, and you're probably on your way to going out of business unless you change things really quickly. Again, best wrestler in the world. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.